Hi guys, thank you for tuning in. If you're a complete beginner and want to learn the handstand, then this video is for you. Today I have Robin with me and we're going to show you a couple of progressions, preparations for your handstand and guide you step by step towards the handstand. If you're new here, you'll find in the description down below a link to our school community, which is free, in which you'll find structured programs, guidance, and a community with like-minded people. Hope you like it. Let us know down below if you have any questions. First of all, we're going to test with this short assessment how your overhead mobility is. For this example, Robin will reach all the way up, and eventually you'll find yourself flaring your ribs. If you're mobile enough in your lats, biceps, chest and shoulders, then you'll be able to remain in that upright position. Otherwise, if that's not the case, it will look somewhat like this. You keep your rib cage down and engaged, but because you lack the mobility in your lats, your arms will fall towards the front and inhibit your overhead mobility. And for that, I'm going to show you two exercises that can help loosen up your tight lats, pecs, and biceps. For this first tool or exercise, you want to grab a foam roll and go all the way over your lats for around 1 minute. You can repeat it if you need it in between your sets to increase that range of motion and decrease that muscle tone in your lats. You can also, if it's tolerable for you, you can also roll your serratos, I think it is called, and to also loosen up the tightness in here. Then you can roll up and down and remain still for a couple of seconds on tight areas or tight spots. So the next exercise that we're going to show you is the puppy stretch. For that, you're going to want to make sure that your hips are aligned with your knees. Then you want to arch your lower back and feel a nice stretch in your thoracic spine, your anterior chain, and of course your lats. For that, you reach all the way to the front, and then at some point you can engage your core by bracing. This will increase intensity and turn this whole exercise or stretch into an active stretch. Then you can release after 1 or 2 breaths and go back down into the passive stretch. With this stretch, you'll loosen up biceps, shoulders, and your pecs. For this, you'll grab a stick and you'll slowly turn outright and feel a nice stretch. It shouldn't feel painful, but still comfortable enough to hold it for around 30 to 60 seconds. And if you don't have a stick, you can always grab a pole or whatever might be sturdy enough to hold on with this grip. Right. The last stretch will be simply a passive hang. We can do 2 variations. You can jump on the bar and simply hang. If you feel a weird sensation in your lower spine, you can engage your hip and tilt it like so. This will increase the tension in your lats. You take out the swing. And then what you want to do is, for additional gains in your forearms, you can imagine you want to squeeze and crush the bar by applying tension on your pinkies. Okay, you can let go. And then the other grip is you grab a mixed grip and then you try to hold it on each side for the same duration. I usually recommend, and I also do it myself, I hang 1 minute with pronated grip and then 1 minute on each side with a mixed grip. This will ensure that if I have some sort of disbalance in my lats, shoulders and biceps, that I ensure that I can tackle that unilateral. Thank you. Alright guys, so for a stable handstand, we need a bulletproof core. We really need that stability, and for this we're going to show you 3 progressions that you can use depending on your level. So first one is level 1. You can simply bend your legs, your knees, and then go into that hollow body position. You can ensure that you're in the position if you can't pass through with your hand. Once that feels comfortable enough, Exactly, thank you for demonstrating it. So you'll feel the moment you can reach through with your hand, that means you lost tension. So that's very, very crucial. Okay, you can relax real quick. And then the next progression will be, he will extend his arm to the front and extend his legs to the front as well. If you find it easy, you can always go a little bit lower with your legs while maintaining that hollow body position. This is level 2. All right, and eventually you made it up to level 3, which will be the highest intensity. Okay, now we're gonna understand what it feels like to be in overbalance and what it feels like to be in underbalance. He's standing right now just for demonstration purposes, but what he's gonna feel right now, or you when doing this, can be applied when being on your hands while doing the handstand. So first of all, you want to apply tension in your legs and glutes and really tighten up the body, and then slightly lean to the front, and eventually you'll feel tension increasing in your toes, preventing you from falling down. This is the same thing, thank you, the same pressure you want to apply on your fingertips when you're doing your handstand to prevent yourself from falling when you feel like falling towards the front. The same applies if you're under balance, means leaning or falling backwards. What you then want to do, right now he's applying tension or force with his heels. This represents the palm of your hands. By applying pressure when you feel like falling down, you want to apply pressure on the palm of your hands. Okay, so next up we're going to show you how to apply tension on the floor when you're working on your hands for the handstand. So this is what we call the spider grip. For that, depending on your mobility, you want to make sure that your index finger is pointing towards. You really want to apply tension and really bring on in those fingers in and apply tension. All right, we made it to the wrist preparation part. So what we suggest is you use some sort of dynamic stretching by going into position and stretching your forearms in all different angles, like Robin is demonstrating right now. Just do whatever feels comfortable to you, especially stretching on the back side of your hand can feel uncomfortable. Just do as much as you can tolerate. The next exercise will target your shoulder stability and help you increase your shoulder strength, which is called the inch walks. All you want to do is remain still with your feet and simply walk back with your hands to the front and to the back. Make sure that you don't drag your hands on the floor. You want to always make sure that you lift off before you move on to the other hand. Okay, once this feels comfortable and easy, means 3 sets, 8 to 10 repetitions, you can move on to the next level, which will be the wall walks. Before you go all the way up, make sure that you test your strength and shoulder stability before going all the way up. This is a rather demanding exercise which requires a lot of shoulder stability and shoulder strength. Means if you can't go all the way up, simply go up until here or up until here. Means 1 or 2 steps, and eventually you'll build up the strength and endurance to walk all the way up. Okay, and here you can also do, once you feel strong enough, comfortable, you can do 3 sets, 8 to 10 repetitions. Next exercise, reach overs. For this, you want to make sure that your heels are not too far away from your body, your hand is not too far away from your body as well. You want to lock it when you go into position and want to make sure that your shoulder is above your hand. Then when you start, you want to make sure that you really lock your arm, go all the way to this side, and once you feel flexible enough in your arterial chain, you can also turn up the heat by turning or tilting towards the ceiling. You might be able to feel it also in your glutes, because you really want to get up as high as possible here. This is a great exercise to improve your shoulder stability, range of motion in your pecs, biceps and shoulder, and also open up that thoracic spine and anterior chain. Congratulations, you've made it to the actual handstand attempt with the wall. So we're going to show you 3 progressions that you can use to build up your confidence to eventually do it without the wall. First up is the level 1, means some partial attempts to really, especially if you have some sort of, if you're afraid to kick up being inverted, this exercise can help you to slowly get used to being upverted while kicking up. So this is the partial kick up. As you can see, you're not really in that inverted position, but eventually you're gaining more confidence, more strength, and you'll be able to be in the inverted position. All right, so next up is the scissor kick up, which looks somewhat like this. Exactly. Means one leg is straight up and the other one is in an L-shaped position. Okay, and then the full kick up while touching the wall, which looks like this. Boom. Can go back down and come back down. Notice the way he kicks up and comes back down. There is like a follow structure. I highly advise to do it likewise. Means you kick up the same way and you come back down the same way. This will help you to make this an autonomous movement instead of always thinking, okay, what have I done? What do I have to do? This will eventually become a habit. Okay, there is something that you might encounter when working towards your handstand and trying to kick up, which looks like this. So one of the mistakes you might encounter is not really making it to the inverted position. Means your hips remain too far away from your center of your anchor point, basically. Means your center of gravity will always pull you down. You want to make sure to kick up all the way up and bring your hips above your shoulders. There's another mistake which looks like this, or pivoting instead from your shoulders only, trying to gain height by bending in your lower back. Try to avoid this at all costs by applying a lot of tension in your core, bracing your core and your legs if you find yourself doing your handstand kick-ups like this. Okay, now we've made it to the entrance part, and here again we have some progressions for you. Start with level 1, which is the pike handstand hold. For this, make sure to always apply tension on your hands by applying that spider grip. You want to hold the position. Start by 15 seconds and eventually increase to 30 up to 1 minute. Elevate your shoulders as high as possible, given that you have the mobility, and if you don't have the mobility, we've covered that at the beginning. Then, once this feels comfortable, you can move up to the L wall handstand hold. You can walk up, you bring down, you go down into an L-shaped position as far as you feel it feels comfortable. It doesn't have to be an L shape, but by not being completely upright, this will decrease intensity by a lot. So here again, you want to make sure to be as elevated as possible while maintaining that line. And if you have a tripod, make sure to record yourself to ensure that you're in that aligned position. Next progression is the belly to wall handstand hold, which is the more the most demanding one. Okay, for this, make sure that you have enough room to bail out if you feel like your shoulders are giving in, and if you're not sure enough, which you'll notice by when you do the wall walks, don't go as close. And once you feel strong enough and stable enough, you can of course go even closer, and then try to go here also for maximum 1 minute to ensure that shoulder entrance and stability. All right, guys, we've made it to the end. You made it to the end. Thank you for staying here, for watching this. And again, if you have any questions training related, feel free to let us know in the comment down below. We're both in Switzerland and we both offer calisthenics coaching. Robin is specialized in handstand training. If you feel like you're stuck, feel free to reach out. I'll leave his contact information down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
So ungefähr, ja. Jetzt Killeres. And eventually, you'll unlock the mighty handstand push-up. Now, this takes a lot of hard work. You first have to master the basics before you try to attempt this.